Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. And in this video, we'll start a series of science, which is only for a specific for class 10th. And when we see the NCERT textbook of class 10th, we have a very first chapter known as chemical reaction and equation. See, in our environment and surrounding, there are so many changes we see in our everyday life. Sunrises, digestion, cooking food, burning coal, paper, wood, anything. So, in all these changes, we classify it into two parts, physical and chemical change. So, in this class, we'll discuss about the chemical change, and there is a very specific difference between physical and chemical change. See, whenever you see there is a changing in any phenomena, when new product is formed, whenever there is a reaction, there is a change in which you will get a new product. For example, burning of coal. When carbon reacts with oxygen, gives CO2. It gives carbon dioxide as a gas. Magnesium, ribbon, when burned in the presence of oxygen, it gives magnesium oxide. So in such reactions, we get a new product. So there is a definition of a chemical reaction. Those reactions in which new product is formed is known as chemical reaction. As we already explained you, new product, apart from new product, we have 4 or 5 parameters by which we can determine whether the reaction is a chemical reaction or not. Those parameters are change in state, change in color, change in temperature, and evolution of gas. As you have seen that when coal start burning, temperature changes, state changes, there is the evolution of gas in terms of CO2. So I hope you understand the definition of chemical reaction. Let's come back to the second term of this chapter, which is chemical equation. So chemical equation is just a pictorial representation of chemical reaction. It includes symbols and the chemical formula of elements and compounds. Whatever the elements participate in the chemical reaction to form a new product, as we know that there are total 118 elements discovered till now, which is displayed in the periodic table, and each element having their symbol. So to represent any chemical reaction, we use these symbols. Also, some chemical formula which comes in the chemical reaction. So we can say that the chemical reaction having a pictorial representation of symbols and chemical formulae of elements and compound is known as chemical equation. Chemical equation having two parts, left hand side and right hand side. So whatever the substance can participate in the chemical reaction are known as reactant, and after reaction, whatever the new product is formed is known as product. If there are more than one reactant or product involved in any chemical reaction, we use plus as a symbol in the both sides. There is an arrow sign between reactant and product which explains the direction of reaction. For example, Mg plus O2 arrow MgO. Now, there is a next term or next topic come in this chapter which tells about balancing of chemical equation. So any chemical equation of two types, balanced or unbalanced, and how we can say it is balanced or unbalanced, it is a question. Now I will start answering it. So as we know that according to law of conservation, the total mass of reactant and product must be equal. It can also say in the other word like before reaction and after reaction, the total mass of substance should be equal. In other words, we can say that number of atom present in reactant always equals to number of atom, total number of atom in product. So if there is a question come in your examination or in any textbook, why we do balance any chemical reaction or equation, so you will give answer that according to law of conservation of mass, it explains that, it tells that the total number of mass of reactant and product should be equal, or in the other word, total number of atom should be equal in reactant and product as an element or a compound. I will share you some example how to balance a chemical equation in the separate video. We'll come to the next part of this chapter. In the next part of this chapter, we have a types of chemical reaction. The very first type is combination reaction. It defines as those reaction in which two or more reactant combine to form a single product is known as combination reaction. The next One is decomposition reaction. It is just opposite to the combination reaction, those reaction in which single reactant converts into two or more product. Examples are displayed in the video, below the video. After, we have another reaction which is displacement reaction. Before I start explaining about displacement reaction, you need to understand the reactivity series or the reactivity of elements. See, as I have already explained you, except noble gas which lies in the group number 18, there is a story which starts from class 9 itself, that those elements having number of electrons filled in their outermost orbit. As we know that if an element having atomic number 8, it has 8 electrons, and those electrons are arranged in a specific or discrete orbit. According to Niels Bohr, the very first orbit known as number 1, n is equals to 1 cell, having maximum number of electron is equals to 2. After maximum number second orbit will be 2, and the next 2, 8, 18 and 34. And this can be calculated by the octet rule, which explains the formula by 2n square. So n is equals to 1, 1 square into 2, 2 square, 4 into 2, 8, 3 square, 9, 9 into 2, 18, and 4 square, 16, 16 into 2, 32. So the maximum number of electron can be placed in a discrete orbit. First orbit 2, second 8, third 18, fourth 32. So those elements having number of electron in their outermost orbit already filled, they are known as noble gas, and they do not react with any element. Apart from noble gas, we have many elements which react to form compounds. In those elements, some elements are more reactive, some are least. So we have a series of some elements, those are very reactive like sodium, potassium. Some are moderate like hydrogen, zinc, copper, and some are very least reactive like gold, silver. So on the basis of reactivity series or activity series, we define displacement reaction. In the displacement reaction, whenever a more reactive element react with a compound having less reactive than the previous one, it displaces the least reactive element from its compound to form a product. In the double displacement reaction, there is a exchange of ion in which again more reactive element displaces less reactive element. So there is a double ion exchange in the double displacement reaction, and there is a single displacement in the displacement reaction. Let's come to the another part of this chapter, which is oxidation. Oxidation is a process. It is also a chemical reaction in which there is a gain of oxygen and the loss of hydrogen. Reduction is also a process in which there is a gain of hydrogen and loss of oxygen. Those reactions in which oxidation and reduction both occur are known as redox reaction. Now we have last two topics in this chapter, rancidity and corrosion. As we already know about the corrosion, when the ferrous means iron react with oxygen, it forms Fe3O2. Fe2O3. Ferrous oxide. This ferrous oxide is very dangerous for our country as well. Many bridges and ships and so many things are made up of iron. And due to moisture, water, oxygen, it reacts with these things to form ferrous oxide. And corrosion is very economically dangerous for our country. Many trains, ships, bridges are corroded, and due to which there is a very loss of our economy. So corrosion is very massive task. We can say that a difficult challenge for our country, and we'll take care of it by doing some activity. First one is by painting. We can also put some layer of elements which are least reactive. After that, we have rancidity. So rancidity is a process in which food, whatever the food we have in the kitchen, it gets rancid when it exposed in the oxygen for a long time, and the smell and the taste of the food get changes. You often see that in your kitchen there is a chapati, not chapati, there is a vegetables, cooked vegetables, and even pulses, made pulses, cooked pulses get rancid. The smell and the taste of the pulses get worse in the summer. So the process is known as rancidity when these things react with oxygen for a long time. To prevent from it, we put it into refrigerator. So cooling and heating are the two important methods to prevent from rancidity. We boil water, we boil milk, we boil vegetables or food to prevent from rancidity. I hope you understand from this very short interval of time, and respective notes are displayed below the video. Thank you very much.